Snackablementalhealth.ca, October 26th. We're into our third episode now. Jeff Bray will be coming shortly. It is Karen 26th. And I here, Brandon W. Hahn and Karen, my illustrious guest host.
Illustrious.
And yes, we're working on the sound, and we're just gonna tape just kind of a random, cool.
What is that word?
Ad-libbing. I guess.
Just talk.
We're just talking.
We're just talking.
Now. We're going to try and do it all in one take. So, because you know what? I really don't like editing.
I don't like you editing. I don't like your editing.
I know. No, I know. I'm not as capable as somebody that knows how to work.
An editor.
Yeah. But I don't want to pay anyone for it either. So that's the thing.
That's cool.
I downloaded Adobe Audition to my home computer, and I've been screwing around with it. And I like that I'm learning, but it's just kind of pull your hair out stuff.
Can I just jump in with something
Let's
random?
Do it. Yeah.
So we're talking about mental health, snackable mental health.
Snackable mental health. So
I just watched Dahmer.
Wonderful. That's got to help.
Yeah, it really made me decide to stop eating protein.
Who played him? James Mac? Who played?
Yeah,
Dahmer in the movie?
I've never heard of this actor
before. He was
before.
a Skarsgård, wasn't he? Skarsgård?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
It was a guy from but no, incredible actor.
Okay.
But I'd like to talk about the Menendez brothers, the show.
Lyle and Eric Menendez. You like these true crime things?
I think I do. Like I started watching these out of boredom.
Some people watch them as like therapy. Like they're glad that that's not me.
Well, you know what? We've spoken on here about certain things that are hard, that are, personal and very frightful.
Yeah.
And then you watch people who have gone through those things.
And these are real monsters in real life. Yeah.
But are they?
Are they? Yeah. Well,
they were hurt, and I know I'm starting something. I'm not trying to start something, but it makes you wonder.
It's almost justified that what they did.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but
no, you didn't. I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. People do have sympathy for it.
I want to rewatch it.
Wow. Okay.
And incredible, and the things I was eating while I was watching that show. Yeah. But I was very entertained by the program.
This was Lyle. What were they called? Monsters? Or was the show
Monsters 2.
Monsters 2.
The Lyle and Eric Menendez story.
Yeah.
And
I don't really
Javier
know too much about
Bardem.
it. I know they both killed their parents.
Yes.
That's what they did. Yeah. They conspired and then they did it. And then now they're in prison somewhere or in some kind of
37 years they've been in now.
Wow. Okay.
But a lot of it was because of terrible things that the parent did.
Yes. So almost like, do you remember The Burning Bed? My mom was a big fan.
Oh my
of
gosh, that was a
The Farrah
terrible
Fawcett
movie.
one. Yeah. That was big. She loved that movie.
That was a great book and movie.
Or that guy got what was coming to him.
Yeah. And you start looking for that.
Enough, and then they're sleeping with the enemy. Women love these things.
And this Menendez one is incredible.
Okay.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Was justice served?
Yeah, because the parents were bad people. Yeah.
So they say.
Mm-hmm.
The brothers.
Yeah.
And the one brother wore a wig.
Was it a documentary or was it a movie that?
It was a doc.
Javier Bardem was in it?
Yeah. Javier Bardem played the father.
The father, yeah.
And I dislike that man now.
Yeah.
And you would know who played the mother. She's a famous actress. She did a fabulous job. But I think it comes down to the way that people play these people. If it leaves you loving the story, they did their job. Because not only do I remember this happening when I was only 20, I now wonder, oh my God, this is perplexing. Now I kind of believe them.
And it's a very real thing. This
real.
This happened.
Yeah. And now it's on TMZ, dude.
Yeah.
That's real news.
Isn't Paul Bernardo, that would happen so long ago. Like, would he be
You
in,
know
like,
what, I
some kind
wouldn't-
of psychiatric institution now? Because, like,
Yeah, because in Canada,
his sentence would be over by now.
yes.
You know what I mean?
So in Canada, if you're given a life sentence, I think after 35 years or 25,
Is it? I think it's 25.
then you go to a mental institution.
You go to where you're supposed to go. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised now if this unlocks a lot of people
Talking about, yeah.
deciding to go and have somebody redo their stuff, their court cases.
Yeah.
Because Gypsy Rose, I know, I feel bad. This has nothing, but it does have
No,
everything to do with mental health.
Absolutely. Like, people lose their minds and end up becoming, like, front page stories of what they've done. And that they're monsters before their story gets told.
And here we are in a small town talking about it on the radio, but I think this is going to open a big can of
Whoop-ass? Like,
yeah. I really think
a
it
can
will.
of worms?
Yeah.
I've never
Steve
Do
Austin.
they sell Austin 3? I was a big wrestling fan back in the day.
So was my kids.
Early on, though, I was, and not before, like in when it was really, like, flamboyant, like Hogan and Randy Macho Man.
Ricky the Dragon
My
Steamboat.
favorite, Ricky Steamboat was incredible.
Loved him.
My favorite wrestler was Rowdy Piper. He was my favorite.
I thought you were going to say Junkyard Dog.
I saw Junkyard Dog more than a few times. I saw him at Maple Leaf Gardens. We had floors for a steel cage match.
Wow.
It was Junkyard Dog and Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd and Ken Patera in a steel cage.
Wow.
That was the main event. And Andre led the Junkyard Dog to the cage by his leash. And it was just so amazing. Yeah. And they won. I think Andre pinned Patera or something to win the.
I don't even know who Patera is.
He was an Olympian that turned out to be a professional wrestler.
Really?
He ended up going to jail for a few years for doing something bad at some kind of McDonald's or something. I don't know. What it was. Anyway, Patera was an Olympian that turned heel in as a wrestler. He was a bad guy, and it was him and John Studd and against Junkyard Dog and Andre. I loved seeing Andre.
My oldest son, I love him to death, but I had to pay so much money for all of those pay-per-views back then.
Wow.
And we used to shop at Food City, which was a grocery store back in the day. And my son would be so excited when I did groceries.
Because?
He would stick his two legs in the bottom of a grocery bag and then put his arms through the handles. And that's how he walked around.
Why?
In his wrestling.
Oh.
He made it his wrestling bodysuit.
He was Mr. Food City.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
I bet you he probably still does that.
Cool.
With the reusable grocery bags.
Yeah. I jumped off a roof when I was before teenage years. I jumped off a roof at some kind of party I was at when I was a little boy, and
nice.
with a plastic bag, and I thought the plastic bag would be like a parachute, and it didn't. And I learned my lesson there.
No, it didn't work.
No. I was little and I had the plastic bag and I jumped off a roof.
That's hilarious. Remember the little man you used to buy? A little plastic man. It came in one of those baubles that you buy at the
Muscle. They were pink and they were wrestlers.
Yeah.
They're called Muscle.
No, and you untwine
they came in
it.
a garbage can. Oh, what? No.
You unstring it, and he has a little plastic parachute. And
those guys. Yeah, he was an army man. Yeah, and it did work. It was like that's probably what convinced me that I could jump off a roof with a plastic bag.
But you had to be 2 inches tall. Mm-hmm. So you exceeded.
And weigh nothing. Yeah.
Those were the best. Yeah. I loved it. How did we go from killers to
wrestling to jumping?
What
off
a
roofs?
Segue.
Yeah. I know that's where
we're just so
tangents come in. That's why we're on the lower end of podcasting these days. Right, like we're so far.
We are the top people.
We're coming around.
In Spotify.
People are talking about it. I'm making sure people talk about this and like get it out there.
Right.
I'm doing so much with what goes on with snackable mental health. And I'm very proud of what
I'm very proud of you.
We've done in such a short time.
Right.
So yeah, we got the website up. We're going to go on LinkedIn this week. That's going to be another little platform.
Come on, guys,
for us.
name the brain.
This is getting to be an
I'm feeling
entree
the
instead of
pressure.
a snackable hors d'oeuvre. We are waiting on Jeff Bray. What was I going to say? That it's just we're slowly moving on other platforms.
Right.
We just launched on YouTube last week.
YouTube.
So we got YouTube, and I want to start doing some vids as well, some videos, taping some videos and stuff. Well,
I'll have to be behind the black screen.
how about we get a sock, and the sock
That
can
would be
your
fab.
voice. Yeah, you can be the voice of the sock. Yeah,
Somebody's already done that, Brandon. I'm pretty sure.
That's already taken.
That's from like David Letterman days, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Or Tom Green days.
Tom Green.
I used to watch Tom Green.
Did have a sock.
Yeah.
Early Tom Green, like Cable 10 Tom
Yeah.
from Ottawa when he was in college. Yeah. And with organized rhyme. He had
Yeah.
that group. Yeah.
And Vaseline and the dead raccoon.
You like it so far? Check the OR. That was their big song.
check
And he would dance. Like crazy dance. And he had a big guy. That was the other MC. It was him and Tom Green. And I forget what Tom Green's rapper name was, but yeah.
I can't remember either. I was so into Tom Green.
Yeah, he was funny.
I used to wake up my
got
son
away,
who
but he was
wore
hilarious.
grocery bags.
Yeah.
I used to wake him up to watch Tom Green in South Park.
Yeah.
What kind of parent was I?
That's amazing, actually.
He's actually a really cool
I know.
kid.
He's
So
got a good sense of humor.
he's got a great sense of humor. So is my other son. But I didn't let him watch that stuff. He watched Terminator. Like I played it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was allowed to watch Terminator.
My parents were good. They let me. They knew what I was getting into, and they were like, okay, like there is a limit though. Like there was a couple of movies I wasn't allowed to watch, and I followed that. But I was a big horror movie buff when I was young, like very young. But my mom would say, you can't watch this one. You can't watch Videodrome. That was a David Cronenberg one that came out.
Never
She
even
said,
heard of
You
that.
can't watch that one. It's too disturbing. What was the other one she said? That she wouldn't. She
I
didn't
wasn't
like
allowed
me
to-
watching the one Jacob's Ladder. Do you remember that one?
I do
Adrian
remember
Lyne?
the book.
That was about the Vietnam experience and drugs in
Yes.
Vietnam and stuff like that. It was. I saw it in the theater when I was a teenager, and it was like, oh my god, that was disturbing.
Really?
Yeah, it was Tim Robbins actually. He played.
He was a great actor.
The main character.
Shawshank, right?
Yeah, Shawshank was easily the best movie he's
I
ever.
wasn't allowed to watch Porky's.
I loved Porky's.
I just watched it
And
4 years
Porky's
ago.
2 with the guy dressed as the zombie. Boogie, 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 boogie. Then when they brought the guys to scare them in the cemetery with,
I can't remember.
Porky's 2.
Because I watched Porky's and then I watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High 4 years ago. Never watched these shows before.
Nice.
And I'm in my
Fast Times.
30s.
That was like basically the only movie that Sean Penn ever did that was a comedy.
Really? I didn't know
And then
that.
he kind of became Sean Penn, and now Sean Penn is the way Sean Penn is.
Yeah.
But that was like, he was amazing in it and so funny.
He was so
I
funny.
think they should bring back Rick Spicoli then.
My God.
Maybe
I
he
loved him.
Maybe he owns a pizza place and surfs or something. Bring back
That was the
character
Italian
of
character, right?
Rick Spicoli. He was the surfer, the stoner.
Oh, right.
Penn, yeah.
That ordered pizza in class.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Of course, I remember the food part of that movie.
Some
But-
tasty waves. Tasty waves.
I'm
some
sniffing a
babes
lot.
And some tasty waves. All right, we're nearly, this has become a snack. I should have called it hors d'oeuvre. Snackable hors d'oeuvres. So we're getting into having an entire meal right now. We are waiting on the illustrious Paul Rudd to join us with his beard. And,
You just called me illustrious.
Did I?
Wow.
Am I using that term?
Wow.
Okay, we got to find another word. we're gonna stop here. Snackable mental health.